signs. Do we go right? Can't decide. Do we turn back? Do we turn back? It's in your face. I stop to mind. Where did the day end up in time? How did we fall? How did we fall? We are all we've
Hello and welcome to today's lap guide at Brands Hatch on ACC. I'm going to be driving the Lexus, and to start off with your lap, stay in the middle of the track, and up here you want to look for the braking mark on the left, which is that board. You want to brake just before that, and when you're braking into this corner, stay in the middle of the track, and eventually around about here you want to lift off and coast your way towards the apex of the corner, and I wouldn't suggest hitting the curb like I do because it unstabilizes the car. Accelerate and don't run into the sand because they'll slow you right down. For the next corner you want to use this orange marking on the fence as your braking marker and brake just before then, aim straight for the apex, trail brake, and once you start straightening up you can accelerate again, use a little bit of curbing on the exit. Down here you want to brake as this curbing starts, and don't hit this curbing on the inside because that'll unstabilize the car as well, and you also don't want to run too wide on exit because you will your lap will be invalidated. Now on to one of the trickier corners on the circuit, there's a board on the right. You want to brake a little bit after that, aim straight, go out wide, make your way towards the inner side of the corner late, and then start accelerating, and don't run too wide on exit because it's quite bumpy and you'll lose a lot of time. Now we can breathe for a little bit and make our way to the next corner, which is a fast one. There's a board you want to look for on the left, you'll see on screen, and you want to brake just before it and aim towards the middle of the corner, and another sort of mid-corner apex, accelerate when you get to that apex. For this corner you also want to use the board as a braking mark. You want to brake just before it, use all the curbing on this inside here, and you can use quite a lot on the exit as well. Now we make our way down the hill again, then back up, and you want to go straight to the outside and brake between these two orange marks on the fence, right in the middle, and then go right over this curbing on the inside because that's your best line. Don't go into the grass because they'll stuff you up. Back to the right, brake just before this board, and you're going to keep right on the inside, carry your speed, and don't run off the track on exit again. And now we make our way down to the last corner, which is fairly easy. You want to brake just before this board, trail brake a little bit, coast a tiny bit, and then just on exit you want to start accelerating. You might get a little bit of oversteer, but you can catch it. Don't run too wide. And now we make our way down to the finish line, and on this lap I performed a time of a 1 minute 23.2 with a few less mistakes and just overall cleaner lap. You could probably get into the 1 minute 22s. But that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this guide. Let us know what else you want to see on ACC in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
the start. I don't know where to go. I'm told I'll reap all of what I sow. These mistakes have no one else to blame. Said I could feel it when you left me here, left me here. Our emotions are one and the same. So come on over, we can persevere, persevere. So come on over, we can persevere. Said I could feel it when you left.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Today we have something very special, and obviously, being that it is now 2024, and Amigos Racing League has basically doubled in size since last season, which is absolutely incredible. This time we've decided to split the servers up here, so that means that the if I say it correctly, so there's 2 streams now, both on the same channel. On YouTube also for a change. This time I'm joined here by Alex, also known as Aces. He's going to be handling the Split 2 stream, while I'm in charge of the Split 1 stream. So that's exciting stuff as always. Means that we'll get more competitive splits both in Split 1 and Split 2. So in the end, it's going to be a big W for the league here. I am currently waiting until free practice is over. It's only 2 minutes and we're going to get right into it. So the special events have been a great success so far. And now we're getting ready to the usual regular stuff, starting off with a 75-minute race at Brands Hatch, a circuit loved by many, but also feared by most. It's a very tricky circuit. I've seen a lot of drivers go off in the beginning. Seen a lot of drivers also really struggle to get with times in. There's quite a big gap still between the fastest and the slowest driver, but it's not as big as usual because we have multiple splits now. So the slowest driver is currently 2.5 seconds off pace. So it's very promising here. We'll get a very competitive split for sure. That's what decided here. And I'm going to be guiding you guys through it all, hopefully. For people that don't even know me, my name is Rick Popken, aka Ricky DC. I mainly commentate Counter-Strike and I do some sim racing on the side. And this is one of those times where I get behind the mic to look at some racing here. Big motorsports fan myself. I live very close by the circuit of Assen, so I'm very regularly involved in IRL racing as well. And I soon might make a very big jump into commentating IRL racing as well, which is very, very cool. If that actually ends up coming from the ground. And I'm excited for this one. I'm seeing a lot of new names, but I'm also seeing a lot of names that I saw in the special events, and they're now going to be joining us for the regular season as well. So that's always very good to see here. I see some very quick drivers already lined up. I mean, Samuel Brackstad is back, Richard Christie. I've seen Jack Holden, Joe Tonning, Chico Lanefar's back as well. Indy Rexy. So Shimon Kowalski, Matthew Gamble, who won a season. It's only 2 seasons. It's actually 2 seasons ago now. Yeah, I gotta make sure that I say that correctly. Aaron Holloway is obviously one of them. Darius is back as well. And then we've got a lot of the vehicles on the grid. I count 2 of them at the moment. Chris Taylor obviously also there. But I assume that's no surprise for any of you. Looks like the free practice time is officially over, so everybody's able to go back to the grid, and then we'll start racing there. By the way, I apologize if I sound a little bit sick here. I am very, very sick at the moment here. Definitely not ideal, but it is what it is. All right, let's see how Split 1 is doing. All right, so they're already in qualifying here, so we're actually behind a little bit. Yep, looks like we are. All right, cool. Well, I assume we're going to get underway soon. It's going to be 2 minutes. Alright, well, practice is over, and in fact, the server's just gone empty. Don't know what's happening. Believe we've been disconnected. You have lost connection. Alright, that's not a great start. Well, let's hope that we can back into it. Okay, well. Yep, I've lost complete connection here. Let me try and disconnect. They've decided to restart the server, so it is what it is. Just gonna wait until that one is up again. I hope it's soon. Yep, connection timed out. I'm very much aware of that. And it looks like we're back now with a little bit more free practice. Let me try and disconnect, connect everything again. Yeah, a little bit messy in the end, but we got it done. That's what matters. All right. Yep, all seems correct. Live timing seems correct. Okay, well, I'm ready when they are. Seeing a lot of new liveries as well on the grid, which is always good to see. And curious to see what they'll make of it. I'm gonna have a hard time here trying to remember where everybody's from. So if I screw that up, then you'll know why. It's 3.5 minutes until we start, so I'm just trying to make sure that I've set up everything properly before we head into it. Because it would be really unfortunate if you had some technical difficulties, and I think it's clear to everybody that has happened once in a while. I'm expecting Matthew Gamble, man. I love that BMW is running. He's still running the same livery as he was before. Let's actually see if he's signed up with a team as well, because I have them right in front of me here. What are the teams? Yeah, yes, he's driving for 2ID together with Jack Holden. We've also got Big Brain Racing again. Amigos Racing team, obviously. That's Chico Lanefer and David Hill. Big Brain Racing is Joe Tomlin and Ryan O'Sullivan, which is one of the new guys, if I'm not mistaken. Shredded Wheat, Aaron Holloway, Shaman Kowalski. When all else failed is Dominic Kies and Chris Tedder. Then we've got 2AD, Matthew Gamble, Jack Holden, as I said before, and Mortal Sim Racing, which is Adam Xaplar and Tibor Shilagi. I hope I'm pronouncing those names right. Yeah. I'm not very good at Eastern European names, as certain people will know. Darius is one of them. He hates how I pronounce his name, but I'm trying my best. And it looks like Darius is actually gonna pick the 488. Isn't it the 458? His livery's called 488, but I'm pretty sure it's 458, isn't it? I don't really know. If only I knew my car bands. Yeah, anyways. Let's see what's up here. Chat is kind of empty right now, but I hope that we'll see everybody in. I don't know if Chris has advertised the stream properly. So let me see if I can actually just share it. Let's see here. Da-da-da. All right. Oh, well, he's just put out an announcement. All right, great. Except he's failed to do at everyone, but it is what it is. Yeah, anyways. Looks like Split 1 stream is ready to go. How's Split 2 doing? Well, they're already in qualifying. In fact, they're... oh, no, never mind. They've also restarted the server. We're roughly in sync now. So if you want to check that out, make sure you head into the Split 2 stream as well. It's handled by Alex. Alex knows what he's doing, unlike me. So I bet he's going to be here... well, I guess he's going to be more entertaining than me, that's for sure. Nah, but in all seriousness, it's always awesome to see him. Also a little bit of a hassle to get both commentators on the correct channel on stream key. YouTube definitely isn't the most optimized for that, but at least we've got it done. So I hope we're not going to run into much troubles. Here's 20 seconds till we get going. I shall turn on the in-game volume. There we go. Okay, that would be handy, wouldn't it be? You can hear the cars already. Let's see if I'm finding any interesting cars here. I haven't seen an NSX yet. Yeah, I've seen one Mercedes. The rest is mainly BMW, Porsche, Ferrari, McLaren. Yeah, lots of Ferraris on the grid this time around, I believe. As well as... That's actually quite even. I expected a few more McLarens, but... I guess it's fine as is. Most drivers crossing the finish now, so... Let's get ready to get into commentating. 2 minutes until we get going. I'm gonna drag this down a little bit more just to make it a little better. I should make it a tiny bit bigger as well. There we go. That might look a little bit better for you guys as well. It's not in the way of anything now. Alex logos yet to be added, by the way. I think we're gonna add more logos as soon as we get more sponsors with
Green light. Go, go, go.
Alright, there we go. Session has ended, so I shall click drive, and then we should just be live now. Everybody's making their way out on track right now. Dominic, that is one of the drivers you guys should all be familiar with right now. It's kind of want to call him an OG at this point. Oh, by the way, I should not forget to open up the chat so I can actually interact with you guys as well. There you go. I have chat open now, so if you guys can type now and spam hearts into my chat if you want to. I'm very much reading the chat as well, so if you have any questions, if you want to point anything out, feel free to do so. And 37 drivers on the grid, we know it's going to be a messy one. Especially on a track as dangerous as this one. It's a really, really technical track. It's got quite a few straights as well, but most turns that it has are pretty tricky. Lots of elevation changes as well, and that might always be a challenge, especially for the people running low TC traction control. That was the word I was looking for. I couldn't find it real quick, but oh well. That's obviously going to play a big factor as well. See as well how many drivers are lined up to start their lap here. Lots of drivers driving slowly. You need to be able to create that space. Those drivers starting their lap now. One of them is Matthew Gamble. He's found a little gap to start driving and he's made his way successfully to the first hairpin. After track, I've driven it myself a bit as well. Regular set of Corsa in the Peugeot 107 Cup, I believe that was. Was it? No, 107, 106 or 5, I believe. 106. It wasn't the Indy version. Now already struggled quite a bit with that one. I can only imagine how it feels to do it on the bigger version, which is even more complicated. Lots of drivers now starting their flying lap as well. Going to be quite tricky to get a hang of who's on the fast lap and who isn't. Dan Pickles has made his way over the line now. He will now only start his lap actually. I thought he has already started. So it's the number 635. Was his first one out there today. Who is that? However, 635. I'm struggling to find a number. 635. Where is he? Oh, there he is. It was Gary Smith. All right. It's under 123, but it actually ended up getting invalidated, unfortunately. So that time does not count. It's going to have to try again. Now, obviously, that's no big deal in the beginning. More times will start coming in soon. Joe Tomlin is already looking really, really quick out there today. Let's see if he can keep up that good momentum here as he makes his way through the last turn to try and set his first flying lap. What will the time be for Joe Tomlin? It will be a very quick one. 123.7, and that will put him at the top of the scoreboard. Chico Lanefair immediately goes quicker. That is a beautiful lap coming in from him now. To wait for Jason Pooley to also make his way in. Most drivers have crossed the line at least once now, and Jason Pooley will also do so. Currently 18 fastest. Can he improve? Well, not quite. It looks like his time got invalidated somewhere along the lines. Now we're waiting for Christian De Vico. That's one of the De Vicos. 13 fastest for him. That is not bad whatsoever. Dan Pickles now finally starting his quickest lap. Finishing his quickest lap, and that's going to be a 9th position for him, at least provisionally. Not bad, one could say, for a start. I mean, that's already top 10, it's pretty good, but I think he's going to try and push a little bit more to get higher up. Dominic Gies now is going to be crossing the line again soon. There we go, stays 19 fastest, still hasn't been able to do much. Matthew Gamble doesn't go quicker, so he's gonna have to wait. And now it's waiting for the number 34 to cross the line. Who is the number 34 out today? That is Britt Batiste. Despite his name, he's not actually British, as you can see in the bottom right of the screen. He's actually American. Goes 7th fastest in the Porsche. That is a pretty impressive time so far. And we have Craig Hewlett as well in the McLaren MP4. MP4, Jesus, why do I keep saying that? I should stop saying it. Why do I immediately think every McLaren is an MP4? I don't know what's happening. I keep saying that. John Dudley in the Porsche this time around as well. 7th fastest. Not bad, but he's gonna have to improve if he wants to make it higher up. Giuseppe De Vico crossing the line is 17th fastest, will stay 17th fastest. That is a little disappointing for him, but I think he still has time to improve as we wait for Adam Block to cross the line now. Supercharged Motorsport driver gets it onto 5th position there. That time was at 123.5, and this man's current pole sitter, Jason Pooley, excuse me. Currently 1st position, and his time to beat is already quite impressive with a 23.107. Jack Holden's going to be crossing the line now, as well, representing Team 2ID. Together with Matthew Gamble. 3rd fastest for him, that is a major improvement. I think it was his first proper fast lap as well, so that definitely helped. You can see multiple drivers also pushing at the same time. One of them is Richard Christie. It's a name we all know by now. Household name in the Amigos Racing League. 8th fastest for him. That is not bad if you consider what he came from. Now Frederik Sleen going to be setting a lap. Will go 9th fastest. Chico Lane first made a mistake and finds himself, unfortunately, not where he needs to be. Finds himself outside of the track. Now that's Christian De Vico again. He's been improving, and I think he'll keep doing so. 19 fastest definitely isn't the most spectacular qualifying lap, but let's see if he can pick up the pace. Well, not in that one, unfortunately. Dan Pickles then. Maybe he can. Yeah, he can indeed. A 5th fastest time at 123.35. That is a pretty decent lap to start with. As we know, waiting for Dominic Gies to finally set his first lap that actually counts, because it looks like he has gone outside of track limits a few times before. Very messy towards the start there as well. Don't know exactly what's happening. Looks like some drivers were getting held up, but it looks like that issue is resolved now. Jack Holden 4th fastest after that lap. Frederik Sleen as well coming to a halt. He's probably going to let the other drivers by, at least I hope so. Currently watching John Dudley. Onto the last straight we go, and that is Darius now making his way into the last turn as well in the Ferrari. Not the regular one you see quite often. It's not the 296 this time around, and I'm starting to see that car a little bit more now, and that makes me think that the LFM BOP actually makes it a viable car again. It's my only theory that I have at the moment. Christian De Vico here doesn't finish his lap either. Is going to stop the car. Matthew Gamble's made a mistake as well, so he has to abandon his lap as well, and he's going to get ready for the 2nd lap here. Number 11 driver, that is Dominic Gies right behind, is the next one to give improving another go. His fastest lap is a 123.7, so definitely some more time can be gained here. As More than 1 second off pace already, which just shows how competitive this field really is. And 6 fastest will do exactly that. A 23.3. That's not bad at all. In fact, I'd argue that's actually really, really good here. Now we see the Lego livery of Jason Pooley coming across the line again. Can he improve? Well, most definitely he can. But not this lap, unfortunately. It is now Britt Baptiste crossing line, 12 fastest. Small improvement for him at 23.7. That's good stuff regardless, let's be honest, but I sincerely hope that the times stay as close as they are at the moment. It'll make it so much funny. John Dudley goes 6th fastest as we wait for Chico Laneford to get out on track again. That last time isn't going to cut it by quite a big margin. I believe that was his outlap actually, so can't really blame him on that. Now we have Cole Mooney. This time in the 296. I assume with another self-made livery like he always does. Supercharged Motorsport is the brand that he's representing. That's his own racing league as well. I have done a commentary on that one as well before in the past. Joe Tomlin and also the Vico right behind. Maybe this is not the time to fiddle around. Well, it's going to be Joe Tomlin pitting anyways. So that will resolve that issue. As we swap over to Britt Baptiste, it looks like we're past way half the qualifying mark now as well. Good improvements. And make that an even more impressive time. Was 11th fastest, then immediately comes to a stop as well. Side said this is now the time to pit. There he is out on track, and I must say that Ferrari sounds and looks absolutely stunning. Looks like he'll be improving, and John Dudley unfortunately won't, I believe. Nope, looks like his lap was invalidated. Multiple drivers now getting into the pits, so probably need to refuel a little bit. Hey Darryl, how's it going? Are we having a wonderful evening so far? And if not, then I hope that I can make your evening a little bit better. Frederik Slein in 14th position. Wait, Dara, is that Darius? No, well, that's what my guess should be. Christian Romano. First time out on track as well. Took a while to finally get out here. And obviously we have changed the format quite a bit. So now everybody can qualify at the same time, I believe. No, actually no. We have done split qualifying. Everybody with the red is now in and everybody with the white is now out. So it looks like we have actually split them up again. I thought we would change the format a little bit now that we only have one split. But it looks like even within the split we've seen cars marked in certain positions. So that means that the qualifying is now over for the cars marked in red. And it's this man who's on pole position at the moment, Baldo Corratolo. I didn't really see him out on track that much, and he was by for the quickest, roughly half a second. I don't know how he's done that. It's really impressive stuff we're saying here. Richard Christie's right behind. I don't know how they've managed to do so. That is really, really impressive. So yeah, that probably explains why not a lot of drivers were out there up front. And now Christian Romano making his way through the fastest section of the circuit. Left-hander here, and then full throttle for the entire straight until you make your way into the last turn here. And that's obviously a part of the track that part of the track that I don't really know. Oh, it's there from Split 2 and Supercharged. Yeah, right. Yeah, the Black Panther. Yeah, I still don't know what's up with that, because for some reason it says that it just skips it, and I have no clue why it keeps doing that. Same for this man, Ryan O'Sullivan. He has uploaded the livery, but for some reason they just don't show up. Look, look, look. I'm going to show you actually. Get this out of the way. Right, so syncing once again. Yeah. Right, everything is unchanged. 2 have been updated now. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to restart the game before we are qualifying. Hope that I can fix it, in fact. Well, Now it says that it hasn't been skipped, but I don't know what the issue is exactly with it. Tom Wegman making his way out in the Mercedes AMG GT3 Evo. It's a stunning looking car, really. I sent you the livery folder on Discord. Please do, because then I can always add it manually and then we should just be fine. Please do that. That might actually work. It would be brilliant if that worked, actually. John Earl now. He's gone for a quite unique livery here as well. Black and white stripes all around. Reminds me of the dark water camo in Counter-Strike. That's obviously where my roots are coming from, right? This is the owner of the league, the man who struggled to set up the Amigos YouTube channel quite a bit. Congratulations on the new rig, by the way. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. I haven't really gotten time to set it all up properly. I've made some first steps, but definitely it's a long way to go. But I'm very much excited for it. Now my pedals won't ever slide again, which is already pretty huge. And I can't wait. I can't wait. This will definitely help me with my consistency as well. Because I recently had to race without it again, and it definitely didn't go that good. Caused quite a few incidents. Keyword Shilagi. Shilagi? Shilagi. Oh god, this is gonna... Kurvaniat. That's the only Hungarian that I actually know, and I know it's not a very nice word. Representing Mortal Sim Racing in a livery that I definitely do remember here. Ooh, Cameron Hunt has just gone fastest. And quite a big margin too, 122.585. Good stuff we're seeing then. Ryan O'Sullivan also out on track. So I have just synced all the livery. And it didn't show a skipped or anything either. So don't really know why it's not showing. But I'm going to restart my game just in case afterwards as well. Maybe he just synced it very, very late. That's my only explanation here. I don't really know what's going on with that. Really, I wish I could figure it out, but... John Wilson, 22nd fastest at the moment, and... we'll see how little cars are actually out there on track at the moment. Compared to the first session of qualifying, it actually looks like there's quite a big difference. I don't know if that's just me. I don't really know what's happening here. Adam Sapler, also from Hungary, sorry, not Hungary. Finds himself the wrong side of the circuit here. To wait for John Earl to cross the line. 20 fastest at the moment. Can he improve? Let's have a look. Well, not quite. Christian Romano then. He for sure can. Goes 15 fastest. And I find it very hard to estimate where these drivers are going to end up. Because obviously I've never seen him race. This man, Tom Wegman, found himself in fourth position now. Absolute stunner of a car, by the way. Love the livery on that. Now we wait for more drivers to cross the line. I'm trying to find number 6 at ADAS, Clive Bixby. For a camo livery, looks really nice. 9 fastest at the moment in the McLaren for him. Quite good so far. Oliver Ewick, also representing Vivid Global Racing, goes 25 fastest, so he's got quite a big bit to go. As we now await Samuel Braxton, the Norwegian driver, in his pro split. Definitely did well last season. What can he do this season? Well, unfortunately, that lap isn't going to be an improvement. It was an out lap. Now he's completely up to pace, so he's going to be trying to improve on that. John Earl now in the last turn as well. Crosses the line, currently 21st. Can he go quicker? Yeah, he can. 14th. That's really nice. Christian Romano then goes 9 fastest. So lots of drivers here competitive for some good positions around. It looks like Ryan Harper has had a little bit of a moment and has just had to reset into the pits. Here we see driver number 2. Well, that's a number that I very much recognize. That's Chris Tedder, of course. Chris Tedder in 29th position. Well, never said it was going to be easy, now did they? Set livery on disco, buddy. I'll add it to my game files as soon as the stream is over. If I don't forget, that is. If not, send me a reminder. Because I tend to not be very good at those things. Well, last minute of qualifying until we get underway here. Looks like the ending time is going to be close to 10 British time. Most drivers only have one more try now. Samuel Braxton comes to a stop, so that's going to be the end of him. John Earl in 15th position. 15th, what will it be? Well, it remains 15th. Christian Romano, can he improve again? No, not quite. By the way, for the people wondering why I'm a little bit more quiet as usual. First of all, I'm sick, so that definitely doesn't help. And second of all, I need to be careful because my parents are sleeping. I don't want to wake them up. Alright, qualifying is officially over now, so lots of people coming to a stop. John Wilson has got one more go here. Currently in P23, where will he end up? It looks like he won't be improving. René Rasenberger then. 30th. Looks like there will be no improvement from him either. That is unfortunate. The harsh reality that they've got in there. John Earl can give it another shot, and so can the other drivers that are still going. Van der Waal absolutely sends the car through that turn. Looks really, really good. Unfortunately, Christian Romano goes off, so that will be the end of him. So it's all waiting on this man. John Earl taking his moment of fame. Ladies and gentlemen, qualifying will be officially over as soon as he crosses the line. So Brands Hatch, we will start with a hunt on the first position here with Wegman, Curatolo, Bixby, Richard Christie, Samuel Braxton, Harper, Xaplar, Pooley, and Chico Lanevaart to round out our top 10. I am just very quickly going to restart my game, and I hope that I can get the last liveries to sync. I don't know why it isn't working with all of them, because the majority is getting synced properly. That's the weird part. So I'm going to restart a set of Corsa Competizione and hope for the best. All right. Let's see if I can get my game to load properly. Because I don't know if it's on my end as well. Because I don't know if other people can see your livery. Well, I assume they can. So that would imply it would be just me. Type in the name. Find the correct server here. We are in the pro server. Gotta make sure that I join the correct one. Otherwise, all my work is for nothing. Alright. We connect here as well. Perfect. Now it's just a matter of waiting, really. Waiting for everybody to line up on the grid. So you have to take you one more time through the... Oh, my... Has the server crashed again? Please don't tell me this is real. Oh, okay, it hasn't. Oh, God, I was scared there. Don't know why that happened, but that was scary stuff. Anyways, we have Hunt on pole position, as I mentioned before. Then we have Wegman, Curatolo, Bixby, Richard Christie, Samuel Braxton, Harper, Xaplar, Pooley, Lanevaart to round out our top 10. Then we have Romano, Sullivan, Matthew Gamble, Joe Tomlin, Earl, Dudley, Holden, Giese, Pickles, Shilagi. I'm going to be struggling with that one so much. Batiste, Locke, Wilson, and then we have Darius in P24. And behind him we have Tether, F. Slane, Uwick, Smith, Wilson, and Rasenberger, Hewlett, Cole Mooney, Carlo Torraccio, and Giuseppe De Vico. And we have right behind him, we have Christian De Vico, and in last position, we will see Aaron Holloway, who hasn't put a qualifying lap in. It's a matter of waiting now until we get lined up onto the grid. I hope no more incidents this time around. I hope that the livery is also loaded. Well, I don't know whose livery wasn't loaded. No, it was Ryan O'Sullivan. His livery is still not synced. That's really unfortunate, actually. I don't know why that's happening. Yeah. I don't really know. I think it's also the only one which doesn't sync properly. Wait, does this guy have a livery then? Let's see. No, okay. Right. Frederik Tisleen and also the other and Harper then, I guess. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Ryan Harper and Frederik. Right, 3.5 minutes until we get going. Perfect. Alright, well, it is what it is. Can't wait for this one, really. I can't wait. It's always fun to be here, and it's always fun to see these people drive because they're so bloody quick out there, and I really have no idea how they're doing that. Like, it's insane to me, really. That's what it is. Also got 2 notifications. Let's see how Split 2 is doing in the meanwhile. They've also got their own stream up. Looks like they're actually still in the... And the qualifier is ending now. Looks like they have a lot of newcomers as well. A lot of names that I don't immediately recognize. Aaron Christie's there. He's Andrea Di Perna's there. But the top... No, I say that. But Andre Batic is there as well. Poole is there. The top 1 and 2 are... No, wait. Yeah, the top 1 is new. It's Rigatti and then Fleming Lloyd. Same that I have actually seen before. Obviously, those fields will differ from every season as well. So we might see some drivers get promoted. We might see some drivers get demoted as well. And yeah, that definitely promises something for the league here. I mean, the amount of professionalism that we've, seen from Amigos in the past seasons has definitely improved, and it's been an absolute pleasure so far. And I hope that I can keep doing it. But obviously, the only income that I have comes from Counter-Strike commentating. So in that sense, definitely not great. Definitely not great. And I personally can't wait for the rest of the season. Obviously, I'm going to be quite busy, especially with the major qualifiers that we have in Counter-Strike. So that's always fun. half a minute until we get going. That gives me
30
time
seconds.
to take a little midnight snack. I have chocolate cookies. I have a briefcase full of cookies right next to my desk.
20 seconds. 10 seconds.
5. Right, there we go. First drivers are off. So the race will get underway soon. It's Hunt on pole position and everybody started driving apart from one driver. The 888 car, Szymon Kowalski, was behind. I don't know what has happened to him. Hope we can catch up in time.
Green light. Give it all you got.
There we go. Looks like Hunt has the better start here. Tom Wegman tries it around the outside, and so far it's been relatively clean. No big incidents I see through the first turn. Yep, absolutely none of it. Wow. As a big surprise. Now, there have been a lot of positions gained and lost, but no incident in the beginning. That's always great to see here. Everybody survived through the first turns. Now we've seen our first incidents, and oh no, what is happening then? Ivy Gamble standing the wrong way. Everybody else tries to avoid him, tries to find his way around. But that was actually very, very unfortunate. As soon as I called it, those drivers go off. It's going to be Darius to rejoin last here. Definitely not the start you want here. Frederick T. Slane also finds himself into the grass. But looks like everybody's now going. It's still Cameron Hunt leading the race. It looks like he's immediately pulling a gap here towards Tom Wegman, who has made his way onto P2 still. It's actually where he started now that I think of it. Is gaining quite a bit on the driver behind. That's Clive Bixby. While driving in a big conga line for now. We've seen Stefan Wilson has also made his way onto the grass, and once again it is the commentator's curse, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely, Tate. I immediately thought of that as well. I mean, that's what I'm known for in Counter-Strike regardless, so in that sense, no big surprises here. Jason Pooley still stable in the midfield at the moment. 9th position for him. That's exactly where he started, so hasn't lost or gained any positions in the opening lap now. Seems to be just taking things easy for now. Just wants to make sure that there will be no incidents here. And Pickles loses a place. It will be Gary Smith who will move up to 17th position here. Adam Xabelar chasing down Richard Christie. I believe that's the only Christie that we have in this split. I believe Jack and Darren Christie are both in split 2, which is also streamed on the same channel, by the way. If you hover over the Amigos logo, click on it, then you'll see that we have 2 streams running at the same time. And John Earl goes really wide onto the grass. Now he doesn't lose a lot of time there, but definitely could have gotten sketchy. And yeah, 2 streams at once. This is the split 1 stream, and then the split 2 stream is live as well, so make sure to watch both back. In case you're interested to see what happened, because this time we're on separate servers here. Tibor Schlagli is one of the drivers I'm going to be watching today, one of the newer drivers representing Mortal Sim Racing. 14th position, and definitely a good start for the newer driver out there today. Looks like after that small incident that we had, people have been taking it easy. No more big incidents here. Jack Holden loses a spot. Gary Smith has pushed up 2 now. Found himself in P16. Great start from him. He started in P28 and has moved himself up to P16 in quite a few laps. Jack Holden has a very late braking zone. Looks like he'll get it as well. Don't think Gary Smith can go side by side. No, indeed he can't. So it looks like he's going to have to try again for that position. It was a very good attempt there by Gary Smith, but that was a really nice move there up the inside to gain that position, try and gain that position back. But it is in the end going to be the other Ferrari that stays ahead. Ryan Harper's also one of the new kids on the block, as I like to call him. Currently finds himself in P8. That is Kaspar going very, very wide. He loses quite a bit of pace, so Harper might be able to go side by side. No, not quite, but there it is. Kaspar going wide, but actually somehow Ryan Harper's pushed him the right way around again. Well, that just happened. I don't know how. Yeah, you can see he's flashed him a little bit. He definitely wasn't happy with that one there. Chico lane fire finds himself in 10th position, so the same as his starting position, that is. The Rexy livery, definitely one of my favorites, and I believe the same can be said about the crowd that we have watching today, because let's be honest, Rexy is probably the best thing that has happened to sim racing in a long time. Somebody's made the livery, and look at that, man, it's just such a funny looking car. I love that thing. Drank a bit of water as well. Gotta make sure that I stay hydrated, especially when you're not feeling 100%. I want to avoid that I have more headaches later on in the race, like I had last time around. Don't know what it is, but for some reason now I also get really, really sick during the winter. I'm never sick during summer, spring or fall, but in the winter I just always get hit by the biggest cold that's quite possibly existing. Now, Przemo Kowalski has lost a few positions from the beginning. It's interestingly enough been a tough battle for him, and I honestly expected him to excel quite a bit, because he has made some very good moves to really show that he deserves to be in Split 1 recently, but at the moment he's struggling. Looks like things are going well towards the back as well as the front here. Adam Xaplar also using a maximum of the track here. That is Harper going a little bit slower than he wanted to over the grass. Obviously isn't the quickest way to drive on the track. It looks like he'll keep the Hungarian driver behind, at least for now. That might change, however, as we make our way into turn 1, and that's a very tricky corner. It's one that I have found myself into the sand quite a few times. This time around it looks like they're okay, however. So looking back at Jason Pooley here, he's also found his way into the group here. It actually looks like he's gaining quite a bit as well on the McLaren ahead of him. P9, he'll happily stay, I think. Samuel Brockstad in the Porsche 911. Currently in 5th position. That is one position that he gained over Richard Christie, who's right behind him at the moment. You saw a driver fall off massively. That is Ryan O'Sullivan. Finds himself facing the wrong way, and look only when he can safely rejoin. Whoops. A bit too aggressive there as well. Oh no, what is happening to him? He simply can't get back onto the track now. Ryan O'Sullivan. That's an interesting way of seeing it. You can see that Aaron Holloway had to go the long way around there, and he still hasn't found his way back on the track. What is happening right now with Ryan O'Sullivan? Maybe he underestimated the lack of traction control there a little bit. Very interesting start, to say the least here. Give you an idea as well, it's still this man leading the race, Cameron Hunt, already escaping from Tom Wegman, who simply isn't matching up to the pace. It's this man who has lost the most positions. Ryan O'Sullivan finds himself in 2nd to last position. Giuseppe De Vico, driver behind him, is the only driver that hasn't passed him yet. And Ryan definitely struggled on that rejoin a little bit, and that has definitely cost him. There we go. Pit windows open. They have 1 hour to serve their mandatory pit stop now. I know that for the 1 hour race that we did, most drivers didn't bother for tires. Mainly did that when we did longer races, 90 minutes for example. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do now, because 75 is exactly in the middle of that. Will more drivers now decide to swap for tires? It's what I'm mainly wondering here. Now, if I may predict, so I don't think a lot of drivers are going for tires, but I think it's simply too short. Adam Xaplar in the McLaren seems to be doing well in his first race in the Amigos Racing League. Now, I don't remember that name either from any of the special events, but he might have been there, for example, in the Silverstone Classics, which was one of the races that I unfortunately could not attend. I don't remember where I was, but I remember that I couldn't do it. Was I casting something else? I'm not sure. Lanefair goes very, very wide now. That might open up the door for the Hungarian driver to get around. Looks like it's just on that. Chico Lanefair fights back in the Porsche. Up the inside he goes again and regains that position. That might actually open up the door for Earl there as well. And the Hungarian driver definitely isn't happy about losing that position again. Flashing his lights, showing that he's unhappy. And there we go, Ryan Harper. Oh no, what has happened to you, my friend? He's standing there, losing so many positions. I can't even swap to him. Oh, has he just disconnected? Has he just reset into the pits? Yes, he has. I'm afraid that might be the end already for Ryan Harper. Ooh, yikes, is that the case here? Oh, Cameron Hunt's gone off as well. That's not good. That's gonna lose him his first position. Curatolo also went off behind him. Things are definitely not looking great here. Oh no, that is the Ferrari going off very, very wide. Onto the sand he goes. Look at the rejoin as well. You gotta be careful, Com. Now finds himself in second to last. Still driving. Oh no, is that Chris Tedder? Yep, that is Chris Tedder. Also finds himself facing the wrong way. What is happening? There's so many drivers going off now. Chris Tedder needs to find a safe place to rejoin as well. So going across the grass, he will for quite a bit more. Not great at all there for Chris Tedder, the owner of the league. Now falling back quite a few positions. Somebody check, by the way, if he's got his own stream on. And I'm not sure if he does. Didn't really pay attention to that. And there he is in the Ferrari. Watching him chase down Rosenberger, and it looks like he's getting very, very close now. When he gets out of the way, he's already lapped, and I assume, yes indeed he has been. So the 5 drivers at the back are actually already a lap down after only 10 minutes of the race. Not a great start for those drivers. You know, Darius looks like he has gained that position now beautifully onto that BMW M4. That's great stuff we're seeing. Rosenberger can't really get by. He's going to have to slot in behind there as well. I think like he lost a little bit of time there as well. Probably didn't expect him to brake over there already. Probably have some different lines to take there. That's probably why he suddenly had to brake real hard to avoid, you know, hitting him. Samuel Brackstad in the number 5 Porsche gains that position, and Curatolo wants to take it back but can't, unfortunately. It looks like the door is closed on the inside. So that is Samuel Brackstad now moving up to P4. Norwegian driver showing what it's made of. Curatolo, unfortunately, will have to wait behind as well. And Richard Christie is also finding his way within the group now. Getting closer and closer. John Earl right behind Chico Lanefair as well. Xoppler still involved as well, but it looks like he is too far off at the moment. Same for John Earl, however, as Chico Lanefair is currently a stable 3/10 behind him. Ooh, that is Mr. Slane finding his way, unfortunately, onto the grass. Having a hard time rejoining as well. Now John Earl goes very, very wide there, so that might open up a window of opportunity for the Hungarian driver. A little bit of a touch there, but nothing major. So John Earl stays in the same position now. More flashing from the Hungarian driver behind him. Definitely not happy with how things are going at the moment here. John Dudley and Britt Baptiste still very close to Porsche, so similar when it comes to pace, at least if you look at the cars. And they might have a little bit of a different setup here, and I believe that John Dudley might be a little bit more experienced. But Baptiste definitely shows that he can be really, really quick out there. Tom Wegman still leading the Dutchman, one of the 2 that we have on the grid today. Chico Lanefair as well as Tom Wegman, both from the Netherlands, and Tom Wegman is currently the one leading the race as well. quite a big gap still to go for Cameron Hunt to try and catch up. Now, obviously, it was his own doing that he actually had to regain that position. And as we watch Richard Christie keep trying for that position, it might actually become a little bit of a challenge here, because you can see how quick Samuel Braxton is at the moment. Now, I do expect that eventually they'll get close enough to fight again, but for now it doesn't really seem doable. So he's just gonna have to wait here to make their way into the downhill corner now. Now that is a tricky turn, and I think everybody knows it. Well, you'd assume that Richard Christie feels comfortable around here. Obviously he's from the United Kingdom and probably been here at some point IRL as well. So that's what I think. Surely right. I mean, how big is the UK really? I feel like UK is definitely the best country to live in if it comes to car racing tracks, I think, because, you know, if you got so many legendary tracks, so many underrated tracks as well. So considering they're all pretty close as well, you know, if you spend let's say half a day driving, you'll make it to any circuit within the UK. Even if you live in the south and you want to head over to Knock Hill, even then I believe you can do it. Which I'm really jealous of, because for me there's only a few options nearby. Now I happen to live very close by to the circuit of Assen. It's more of a motorbike racing track, but you do see cars there sometimes. There we go, a change for position at the front as well. Tom Wegman now in second place again, not happy, he's flashing. He has lost the position, at least for now. Maybe the stewards will decide otherwise. We'll see that later. We'll see, we've got no live stewarding now. Now we've got 2 splits up. At least not that I'm aware of. Yeah, I live very close by Assen. Zandvoort's also within reach, like 3.5 hours. We have Race Park Meppen, but I don't think they race cups there quite often anymore. So I'm actually not visiting there quite a lot. And then we have 2 ovals nearby as well, which I'm not a big fan of, but it can be fun sometimes. John Wilson here going side by side and gaining the position over John Dudley. BMW M4 moving up 1 position now and back into P16. Now, John Dudley actually ends up losing both positions there and is now stuck behind the Ferrari of Gary Smith. So these 4 actually definitely can... I think they're going to be fighting for quite a bit here. That was what I was trying to say. Actually, now that I think of it, has anything been announced yet for Race Park Meppen? No, not quite. I mean, there were only 2 races there last year. That definitely doesn't help, you know. Most of them being cancelled as well, actually. So, yeah. Maybe one day I'll go there, but that time won't be anytime soon, I guess. But keep my eyes open. Maybe one day we'll see it. Because I definitely want to visit some more racing events this time around. I am going to Donington Park for the British Touring Car Championship. René Rasenberger will be serving his mandatory pit stop, but he'll be the first one to do so as well. So he's coming in to at least refuel. Yeah, I'm going to Donington Park. I might be going to Hockenheim and the Nürburgring as well. At least that's what I hope to be doing. It would be really great if we actually could, but no promises can be made, really. Tibor Shilagi. He's currently chasing the Ferrari of Jack Holden. Well, Jack Holden is a driver that I have very much have faith in, because he's shown some good result last season. I think he's only getting quicker at the moment as well. Jack Holden here. On the inside, it looks like the Hungarian driver's actually made his way past now. What a beautiful move that was by Tibor Shilagi. And I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong. There you go. It looks like he's now permanently ahead. However, is he? Jack Holden trying to go side by side. Will there be space to do so? That's my main concern. And there we go. Jack Holden down the inside again. Regains the position. Tibor Shilaki yet to try again. Well, he might be able to go down the inside here. What a beautiful battle this is. And there we go. Now retakes the position from Jack Holden. But Jack Holden can just go on the throttle. Now he's going to be on the outside. So I think it's going to be very, very tough from him. They go side by side through the turn. Both making it. No, Shilaki definitely is ahead because the next turn is a left-hander. So I think it's going to be Jack Holden in the end who has to fall off there. Dan Pickles also giving it a go. But no, Jack Holden immediately wants to go side by side again. What a battle this is here for the 12th position. Have to look real quick. Jack Holden still around the outside. I think now he's finally given up, or is he? Might be able to go side by side into the next turn as well. Will be on the inside. What a beautiful move from Jack Holden. Regains that position now over Tibor Shilagi. Can he stay there this time round? Well, not quite, because look at this. Immediately down the inside. It is the McLaren. Too wide, but now I think he's finally done it. Jack Holden will win that battle, and it looks like the McLaren driver will have to concede in the end. But what a battle that was here for your 12th position. You're not definitely the most exciting we've seen so far. And now it's also Dan Pickles getting closer, so you gotta be careful in your mirrors. If you want to do it properly, then you need to do it safely as well. John Dudley comes in to serve his mandatory pit stop. He's the second driver to do so, at least if you ignore the back markers that were one lap down already. Now Ryan O'Sullivan has also come in as well as Matthew Gamble. Simon Kowalski has actually followed them as well, so I didn't actually notice those before. So it's very good that I finally can see what's happening over there. Stefan Wilson is the driver that will try and push up to Carlo Torraccio, currently in P25. Giuseppe De Vico has also come in to serve his mandatory pit stop. More pit stops being served early into the race. Well, I guess if you're not planning to do those pit stop, to do another stop anyways, you might as well. Do it early, right? Get it over with. John Earl is the one now chasing down Xaplar. That's the teammate of Tibor Shilaki, who we saw fight for that 12th position very long ago. So definitely have high hopes now for this battle. It's Morders Gym Racing, a team I'm going to be watching for quite a bit. And curious to see what they can do here in the first race around Brands Hatch. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I must say that I'm really enjoying the sorry, I was distracted by a message on LinkedIn that I saw. Not really what it's about, but yeah, just trying to get the calendar ahead of me would be very nice. However, it doesn't seem to load, so that's quite unfortunate. Off to a great start here, aren't we? I don't really know why the page is not loading. There is 53 minutes left of the race here. I don't know why it's not working. Is my phone just not having a great time here? Ever since I got that Android update, it hasn't been going well. Alright, let's see here then. So this is round one, obviously, the Brands Hatch. Then we have Valencia, a personal favorite of mine, and then we have Watkins Glen, which is also great. And then we have a circuit that I haven't really seen a lot before, Oulton Park. Now, Oulton Park is probably an interesting circuit. Quite bumpy from what I've heard, so that might definitely catch a few drivers off. And we have a 90-minute race at Suzuka. No. I expect good things from Suzuka. I mean, who doesn't love Suzuka, right? Then we're gonna end up on Zolder, Belgium, for a 75-minute race. From Belgium, we make our way up north to head to the Netherlands to do a 60-minute race at Zandvoort. And then we're gonna go across the ocean to make our way over to the UK to end up with a 90-minute race at Snetterton. So lots of British tracks this time round. Yeah, curious to say what DM I just got on LinkedIn. Right, now back to the race we go. Is there anything else that I should really talk about? Because I believe that, oh no, that Shilagi facing the wrong way. No, it's not quite. I believe Kalmuni was not involved in that one. Not entirely sure, but losing quite a few positions now. And Kalmuni is standing the wrong side of the road. He might call it quits, I'm afraid. I hope not, though. I hope not. Would be really unfortunate to see him gone this early. 51 minutes left into the race, so 25 minutes in. The race looks as follows. We have Cameron Hunt still leading. And we have Wegman, Bixby, Braxstad, Curatolo, Pooley, Christie, Leentvaar, Earl and Tomlin to round out our top 10 here. Biggest winners so far are Wilson and Jewick, getting 9 and 12 positions respectively. Aaron Holloway is also getting 13, and the biggest losers are John Dudley, Ryan O'Sullivan and Matthew Gamble. Although they have served their pit stop, they've still lost a impressive 15 positions. Same now for this man, Adam Xaplar. He's just also come into the pit, so he's going to lose quite a few positions. Obviously he'll gain those back over time as the other drivers come in. Not worried about it too much, at least not for now. We're going to see how that ends up taking place. I mean, there's still a very, very long pit window to go. We were experimenting a little bit with shorter pit windows, which in my opinion was more exciting. It was more hectic though, but it definitely helps with seeing the average strategy a little bit better. I mean, if you look at all the individual strategies that they have set up, I think it's no surprise to say that these drivers had their own plans, and obviously if you serve your pit stop early, it's going to be very hard to estimate where you end up. I think that's what happened as well for most of the drivers that I've been seeing. Now, John Earl definitely seems to be really quick, but Chico Leentvaar is not letting him pass just yet. He's going to have to fight for it, and he knows that as well. Chico Leentvaar currently in 8th position. Looks like they've made it through the corner well, but John Earl doesn't really have an opportunity just yet. Now, this can be a tricky track to overtake. It's not that wide. And also, there's not a lot of alternative lines you can take. You really need to be on every apex. John Earl is going to keep chasing that Rexy down. I think he can do it, but he's going to have to wait just a little bit longer now. And that might open up an opportunity. No, not quite. John Earl still is behind there. Maximized the space there. Even took a little bit of grass to end up a little bit wider here. But no, it's not happening for him. He's not now. No, Xaplar has been in the pit for quite a long time now, I believe. Yep, he's been stuck, so he might have gotten quite a bit of damage. That's at least what my guess would be here. Oh, some very nice camera work there by Assetto Corsa Competizione. I don't know what that was all about. Now to give you a little bit of an update as well, these are the current gaps here, and this is where you can also see the balance of power that we have in the top right. So the balance of power, short way BOP, is a way to make the cars more equal. You can see as well that the drivers that are taking cars that are normally not that good around the track will be better. Now you can see the Porsche is 21 kilos lighter. You can also see that the McLarens mainly have become way heavier here, so that indicates that they're quite good in the base game without the BOP. And the BOP that we run is the BOP from Low Fuel Motorsport, one of the biggest websites for Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione. I believe they do R Factor as well, not entirely sure. Oh no, they did the rallying, didn't they? Ooh, Szymon Kowalski going very, very wide there. Might lose him a bit of time there. Samuel Braxstad also is the one to follow, so I think he's going to go past Szymon Kowalski. Needs to find a way to let him pass. There he goes off the racing line to make sure that he doesn't get in the way of the Porsche. Baldo Guertolo is the driver in P6 at the moment. Has lost a few positions from his starting position, which was number 3. Of Jason Pooley, who is ahead of him. Samuel Braxstad's also made his way past, and so has Bixby, who's actually now made his way onto P3. And we haven't talked about him a lot. He's kind of been racing in no man's land for the beginning. And now it's actually improving quite hard. It's great stuff. It's always awesome to see, really. Joe Tomlin in P10 at the moment in the Ferrari. John Earl is definitely somebody you want to pass. I mean, it doesn't really look like he has the specs for it right now. It's simply too far off. This is what it looks like from his POV in the Ferrari 296 here. Look at how smooth he's taking the corners. It's always super satisfying to see here, but it looks like maybe he's not quite matching the pace at the moment. It looks like he's actually lost quite a bit compared to the drivers ahead of him now. There's no shame in that. I mean, he's still P10, which is a very, very good result. And Jack Holden is quite far off as well here. But I also wanted to show you a bit of the POVs that we have. I mean, I have so many tools to work with, and they're all so fun to see sometimes. And that was one of them. I'm taking my time here to watch Aaron Holloway, a big supporter of my streams on my own Twitch channel. Back when we were still running it. I mean, that was like last race, but yeah, back when we were still running it on my stream. He was always very active in the chat. I was super talkative. Just a super nice guy overall, so it's always good to see him racing. Jack Holden's coming to serve his mandatory pit stop. Was gonna end up quite a few positions behind, and oh no, Chico Lanefer gets punted. Joe Tomlin can't really avoid him either there. John Earl definitely admits fault there, I believe. Has he just come to a halt? Yeah, no, he's driving slowly. I believe he's waiting for Chico Lanefer. Admits it was his mistake, that happens. So I don't think Chico Lanefer is too mad about that one. I mean, John Earl did the right thing. He waited to give back the position. Obviously knows that, well, it was a little bit of an unfortunate situation. These things happen. It's sim racing after all. Yeah, not something you are hoping for, obviously, in the beginning. Now, of those 75 minutes that we had at the beginning, we have 44 left at the moment. Which means that we are getting closer to the halfway point of the race here. Now, we're not there quite yet. But eventually we will, so it's taking up a very nice shape here where nobody has pitted at least in the top 21. And then everybody behind there has pitted before. Cole Mooney, quite a bit of damage there. Let's gets by as well. He's 4 laps behind the rest here. So every single car behind him is going to be a blue flag there. That definitely isn't looking great. Also, I've been seeing some hearts in the chat. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate the spam, as always. And despite there being a bit less viewers, I believe that is thanks to Chris not knowing how to mention everyone on Discord. He had a little whoopsie. I think that might be one of the reasons why. I believe that some people might still have headed over towards my Twitch channel, which I have been using for quite a while now. To do the Amigos Racing League, in fact, since season 11. So I've been with them for 3 seasons, and it's been an absolute pleasure so far. Now I hope that we can keep up the high numbers as we got before, because the support on the stream has been quite awesome so far. John Dudley now behind the BMW M4. Might try and open up the attack. I mean, he has lost quite a few positions compared to his starting position. Down 13 positions, but he is a very quick driver, and oh no, that is the BMW that gets punted, and you can see that the Ferrari, trying to get out of the way, actually only was able to put it into the sand. Well, luckily he's still driving, but oh no, that's quite unfortunate. There we go, they will make their way past now. John Dudley waited. He thinks that his move wasn't fair and square, and it definitely was everything but that. So as a result, he's giving back the position, which is the correct thing to do. And right, so to give you a little bit of an idea how things are looking right now, Cameron Hunt's leading by quite a big margin, 4.5 seconds. Impressive stuff we're seeing there from him. Christian Romano is now in P14. He came from P11. Just lost a few, nothing major. And this one was gained a lot of position. Oliver Dewey gained 15th position compared to his starting position, which was P27. Tibor Shilagi, P30. Now he has served his mandatory pit stop, so that's definitely working in his favor here. Currently getting closer and closer to John Dudley, but John Dudley is a driver that I know as one of the quickest in the server still, so despite him being in the Porsche, which is a car I don't know if he's very familiar with, I must say things are looking good for him. I feel like he definitely has the pace to catch up. So it is now Szymon Kowalski headed into the pits as well, serving his mandatory pit stop. Just need to refuel 1 liter, that's all you need to do. Now we swap over to Richard Christie, who was driving in the same livery because he is teamed up with the man that I mentioned before, John Dudley. Both in the same cars, both as well running the same livery. It's a good looking car. I love the combination of the blue and white striped livery. The details definitely work very well on that car. Which makes me wonder if Colm was booting up armor paint again to try and create something beautiful, because apparently that's what he's really, really good at. Currently watching John Wilson battle it out with Britt Batiste. Britt Batiste currently 0.8 seconds ahead. Looks like the BMW has had to give way a little bit more. Is now roughly a second behind, so the gap has actually increased by roughly half a second there. I don't know what has happened exactly. It looks like it was just slightly slower, but didn't expect it to be half a second. We'll keep watching that anyways. Craig Hewlett, as well as Craig Hewlett, as well as Aaron Holloway. Now, I know that Aaron Holloway was definitely a driver to watch the past season. It looks like that's gone the same. And oh, Craig Hewlett goes very, very wide there. Craig Hewlett, sorry, did I say Craig Holloway? I believe I did. There we go. Craig Hewlett makes his way into the pits now. He's had to serve his mandatory pit stop anyways, and that's probably the best way to do it. Lose the least amount of time. Definitely wasn't the cleanest there. Made a small mistake, but managed to recover luckily. Very smart of him as well to just cross into the pits, because you're driving slow anyways. That way you lose, relatively little time. We're still watching this man chase here, Richard Christie. Obviously, it is the first round of the season, so I definitely don't want to be, making assumptions already about how the league's going to go. Jay Pooley as well as Richard Christie both coming in, by the way. Good stuff. So Joe Tomlin moves up 1 position. Now 2, obviously. Now he's made his way past the pits properly. But if things stay the same, then Cameron Hunt might just win the entire thing, because he's currently so much quicker than the rest. His best time was a 122.7. That is half a second quicker than Tom Wegman. And Tom Wegman is in second, but only already 5 seconds behind. That was what I was trying to say. Incredible stuff so far from Tom Wegman though, to keep that consistency up, but looks like he's simply not quick enough at the moment. Now looks like Dan Pickles is also in the pits next to the Hungarian driver, that exemplar. And looks like this man is in as well, Christian De Vico. So lots of drivers are serving their mandatory pit stops. Batiste loses a position to Wilson, was chasing him for quite a while now. Looks like the Porsche has finally had to give way. BMW was a little bit slower towards this part of the circuit earlier, so perhaps Batiste can give it another go, but it will be tricky. Looks like he's gonna have to stay behind there. The gap is 0.4 seconds. That's not enough to go for some crazy dive and go for any move of some sort. Tom Wegman is also made his way into the pit, so he concedes the second position, at least temporarily. It will now be Clive Bixby who moves up 1 position right ahead of Samuel Braxtad and Curatolo. The gaps are still quite big here. Look at the positions that Tom Wegman has lost now, thanks to him pitting. He went from 2nd place to P12 already, and it's actually going to be falling away even harder now. I don't know if he's got damage or if he's gone for a tire swap. If that's the case, that could definitely be the race. Now he is going again. He spent 32 seconds stopped. That is a little bit more than the usual. Now we have seen drivers like this man, Carlo Torraccio, spend 5 seconds in the pit only. So those are the drivers that have only gone for their mandatory fuel. Now I think it's safe to say that Tom Wegman had some kind of damage, or else he wouldn't have stayed in the pits for so long, unless he's have gone, of course, gone for a tire swap, which I was talking about earlier. You know, how long are those tires gonna last here? It's a 75-minute race, so you gotta keep that in mind while racing. So you need to consider that as well with the lines you're taking. And now we've got a little bit of a big group here finding connections. That is Craig Hewlett right behind John Dudley, who's leading that group. Then we have Craig Hewlett right behind. Then it's Shilakli, then it's Tedder, and then it's Wilson right behind. So you can see here the big group is kind of split into 2 smaller groups now. Dudley definitely driving away. He seems to be quicker than the rest of it. That is Romano, and Romano, it's actually a driver that is a lap ahead, believe it or not, here. Most of the drivers here have done 28 laps now. Some of them have done 27, which are the drivers either now crossing the finish line or behind by a little more. Gestetter finds himself facing the wrong way. That is something I do not want to see, but it has just happened. So now in 31st position. I believe he might have had a little incident there of fighting with the rest of his group now. He's gotten one more yellow mark here again. He's facing the wrong way. This time he finds himself facing the wrong way in the hairpin right after the first turn. And now he can finally return to racing. That's something that you do not see often for Chris Tedder, a veteran of the Amigos Racing League, one of the owners as well. He's been here for a very, very long while. He was one of the founders as well. I believe there were 3 founders. Actually, he told me this a few days ago in the voice chat. There are 3 founders. One of them, unfortunately, not here with us anymore. She passed away. He was one of the 4 that started. So it was 3 in the beginning. Then they got one more guy in. And yeah, that was the beginning of a very, very long racing adventure. Romano, Wilson and Earl all pitting at the moment. Means Adam Locke moves into P6 temporarily. Cameron Hunt has served his pit stop, so he is now back in P5. You can see that this driver, Oliver Dewey, has now moved up 23 positions. He came from P27, can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? That is such an amazing performance we are seeing here from Oliver Dewey. Joe Tomlin finds himself in the middle. John Earl is the one he's fighting at the moment. Looks like they'll both make it safely to the hairpin, and Joe Tomlin will stay ahead, at least for now. Yeah, as I was saying about Amigos Racing League, like, can you imagine if this race league never existed? I would definitely not know what I would be doing right now. Don't know if I'd be commentating something else, or if I wouldn't be active at all. Let's also give you guys a recap here of the split 2, because there are 2 splits. And let's see who's leading that one. It's currently Andrei Patek, one of the quickest drivers in the split 2, as I predicted myself. And then we have Brian Envigati right behind. That was the pole sitter, I believe. And the Darren Christie in P22. That's very tough here. Not something I was expecting. But that happens, you know. All part of sim racing in the end. Richard Christie in P11 passes by Adam Locke, who has just served his mandatory pit stop. In fact, he's still in the pits. So P10 it will be. And to give you an idea, everybody's pitted now. apart from 4 drivers. Those are Bixby, Curatolo, Batiste, and Juic. So the top 4 has not pitted yet. The rest has. Incredible stuff we're seeing here, really. From all those drivers that have made such a big comeback early on. Obviously, they still need to pit, so they will fall back a little bit more. That is just amazing, and that's really, really impressive things we're seeing here. Richard Christie is now getting very, very close to Dominic Giest. And Dominic Giest is obviously the teammate of Chris Tudor this time around, and I'm pretty sure that Richard Christie also doesn't want to disappoint his Free City teammate of John Dudley. Now, John Dudley has had a bit of a rough race so far. Currently finds himself in P24 out of 35 drivers left, so we have seen some disconnects. One of them is Aaron... No, it's not Aaron Holloway, obviously. What am I saying? One of them was, for example, the driver that spun around. I don't remember who it was exactly. Yeah, that's why we've seen some disconnects as well. Now, most drivers are somewhere between 29 and 31 laps in. A few exceptions. For example, we see that Cole Mooney is still driving with 20 laps, and so is Christian De Vico. Giuseppe De Vico finds himself at 29 laps. Apologies for that. Currently watching Darius, and Darius is a driver that I very much value. The only thing that I don't like about him is his last name, because I have no clue how to pronounce that. So he's actually asked me as well, like, hey mate, can you stop pronouncing this, because you're absolutely terrible at it. Well, I mean, it's fair enough. That's just how it is, you know. I can't really blame the guy, can I? It's not his fault that he has that name. He's half Polish, half German, and Poles tend to have very difficult names to pronounce, at least if you don't speak Polish. Now, I have been taught by my social media manager for Senshi Esports, which is my esports organization, that yeah, Polish is a very difficult language, and he taught me how to say it. How should I say it? I don't know if I should. Jesteś wydup. Jesteśmy wydupi, which means something along the lines of we're screwed, which sounds about right. Yeah, then again, I'm from the Netherlands, so can't really make any jokes about other languages really, because my language sounds like the one from The Sims in the end, so yeah. I guess you guys would have guessed that by now. I mean, the accent really gives it away, doesn't it? Richard Christie tries to go down the inside, but doesn't quite have the space, so Dominic Giest stays ahead, at least for now. More water has been consumed to hopefully calm down my headache a bit. John Earl is P12 and has been doing well so far to stay in that position, actually getting closer now to Joe Tomlin, driver for Big Brain Racing, together with Ryan O'Sullivan. Well, Ryan O'Sullivan is one of the newer drivers, at least one that I haven't seen before. Presumably running the same livery, don't know where it's gone wrong with the syncing. Yeah, that's something that baffles me, because for some reason they just do not want to sync, and despite me being in the Discord, despite me opening up Awesome Sim Racing, it just doesn't seem to do that. Which is a shame, really. Now watching Gary Smith. And Gary Smith, actually, interestingly enough, does not seem to be teamed up with anybody, sorry. Obviously we have the team championship as well as the individual championship. Now the individual championship is the one that I care more about, and so do many as well, but it is a very good addition in my opinion to have a team championship running on the side. I just think that adds a little bit more depth to the league as well. You know, it's not only you in the end that you gotta think about, it's also your teammate. How is he performing? How can we help each other? How can we push each other to the limit? And this man still has not come in. Clive Bixby is leading the race with 26 minutes on the clock left here, so more than halfway past the more than halfway through the race now. Dominic Giest is in P8. He seems to be quite comfortable there. However, Richard Christie's still right behind as well. And behind Christie, there are 3 more drivers fighting for position there. There's Romano, Tomlin and Earl. All within less than a second of each other, so staying aboard with Dominic Casey seems to be comfortable leading. However, will it stay that way? That is a question that we all have. Look at this here as well. Cameron Hunt has found his way close to Juwick, which is one of the drivers that is new to the league, and he's yet to pit actually, so he might just take that position back even before pitting. Now it's only the top 3 left that needs to pit here. Cameron Hunt, and then it's still Wegman, so I'm curious to see where Wegman's going to end up after the last 3 drivers head into the pits, because then we get an idea of how the pit strategy has worked out here. So this man as well, Oliver Juwick, it's incredible to see what he's doing. I mean, he came from P27. Can you imagine that? That is just absolutely ridiculous here. John Earl takes the position back over Joe Tomlin now. We'll go into P11. John Arrow here going side by side with Romano, making their way through the first turn. He definitely was alongside there, but no, you can see he's not happy about that one either. Romano just takes that position, at least for now. Seems to be doing alright here through the hairpin they go. Earl definitely shows that he was not happy with that. He believed that he was entitled to space. A little bit of a bump draw off there. Forces Romano very, very wide onto the grass, and now Joe Tomlin might give it another go as well. Tries to go around the outside, perhaps. No, actually, it will be Earl diving up the inside of Romano, but Romano once again seems to shake it off quite easily, or does he? It looks like Earl has got slightly more pace through here now. You can see how close Tomlin is. Maybe gave a little bit of a bump trough too, and there they go. They're both ahead now. Romano somehow loses both positions, and will be John Earl to end out on top, at least for now. Now you can start hunting as well, because Richard Christie is still ahead on only 0.3 seconds. Incredible stuff we're seeing here from John Earl. He definitely was doing very well in the battles, and as I say that, makes a small mistake. Joe Tomlin now could potentially go around the outside, but it will be very, very tricky to do so, so he's going to have to wait behind. With 23 minutes to go, we still have about everything to fight for. John Earl in P10 at the moment. There he goes. Joe Tomlin goes very, very wide there. Wants to maximize his speed out of turn 1. Hopes that it will be enough, but no, not quite. So can't we go side by side through the first turns here. So he's going to have to wait right behind John Earl. And John Earl seems to be doing very well when it comes to defending. No problems for him, at least in that regard. Adam Locke now in the McLaren MP4. Fuck, why did I say it again? Come on, that's 720S, isn't it? Or it's 650, I don't actually know, man. I don't know what's happening with me. I just can't seem to... For some reason, I just always assume McLaren with MP4, even though they don't go together. They never have. I don't think the car was ever used in GT3 racing, at least. Might just be one of my favorite cars, maybe that's why. I think it's time for the last race update in Split 2. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see that Split 2 has shifted out a little bit. So Rigotti in second position. I can't really see who is in the lead at the moment. That is because he's looking at people at the back, so then you can't really see what's happening at the front here. Hunt has made his way past Juwick as well, so it's only a matter of time until he comes in. Needs to service pit stop at some point. Amigos is leading this little group as well. No, for some reason I can't really seem to join the stream there either. I don't know what's going on, man. It's weird. There we go. Now I'm in again. But even then, can't really see what's happening over there for some reason. Well, Dominic Geese is leading this little group of 3 here. Richard Christie's are right behind. They're so close to each other. However, no positions will be gained, at least till now. John Earl might try and go down the inside. No, not quite. Don't believe there was space there for the move. Just gonna have to wait. Yeah, you can see no lights flashed around this time. Realizes that was just too optimistic, so it doesn't go on with the move. Start spectating Rip Batiste here. Rip Batiste is currently trying to catch up to Wilson as well as Adam Locke. This is what it looks like from the inside of the Porsche. Making their way into the first turn here. The McLaren goes quite wide. Manages to keep it on track though. Just shows how tricky this is, even for the fastest driver that we're spectating. I mean, look at it this way. The drivers obviously have prepared for this race. They obviously know the track very well. Even then, you can see how sometimes they're struggling quite a bit. I saw a car in the pit lane, but I believe that was still Saplar. Yep. He hasn't raced since lap 16, and I don't think he'll be continuing anytime soon. Also looked like Christian De Vico has called it quits for today. Coleman is not the only driver that is a significant amount of laps behind. That's a painful conclusion to the race for him as well. I mean, DNF is definitely not the way to start, and these things happen, but at least they've got some time to kill now. Perhaps watch the stream themselves. Still see 5 very loyal viewers in the chat. Very much appreciate you guys being here, by the way. Sports always is good to see. Now, it is unfortunate to see that chat's a little bit less active than it was before when I was streaming. The quality is improved. I think it's fair to say now that we've got 2 separate streams running. Just gotta figure out how we can always do that. Every week. I don't know if I'm gonna be there every week. No, I hope so. That will be tough for me to manage. Which Christie in 9th position here. Dominic is still ahead comfortably, and it's also John Earl breathing down his neck. I said that doesn't help. That's quite a bit of pressure now. I know that Richard Christie's used to it. So I'm not expecting that to change here. Szymon Kowalski has also something to fight for here. See number 884 René Rasenberger, who is right behind him now. So it's quite unfortunate if you kind of drive in no man's land, because that just means that, you know, we're just not going to get into any battles whatsoever. Which really means you don't get a lot of screen time on the stream, which is really unfair, because I want everybody to have, you know, the spotlights. But if there's a 4-man battle going on, I can't just be spectating somebody who was driving in no man's land. So I hope you guys understand that as well, obviously. And Matthew Gamble is now very, very close to Carlo Torraccio. Both household names in the Amigos Racing League, obviously. Matthew Gamble won season 12. And Carlo Torraccio, it's been here since I can ever remember. So that was definitely season 11. He was there already. So we do miss a few names that I sometimes still see show up or sometimes see talking, but don't see racing anymore. One of them, for example, is Alpha Dog Meat. That's a name that I haven't seen in a while. He was there during a special event to watch the stream for a little bit. That was exciting stuff. It's always good to see those names back. But yeah, he said he was pretty busy and he decided to race in another league instead, which was a little bit lower skill level, I believe he said, because he didn't really have enough time to practice anymore. Joe Tomlin now. Still holding on strong here. And here we go, John Wilson around the outside. Perhaps here of Adam Locke. No, not quite. He's going to have to wait there. And Christian Romano goes off very, very wide there. And so does Oliver Dewick. So I believe that they have touched. 15 minutes on the clock. That's definitely not what you were hoping for. They managed to rejoin. But they've lost quite a bit of time, both of them. Adam Locke in P16. Representing Supercharged Motorsport as well. It's another league that he races in. I wonder if he's actually... I don't know if that's a team or not as well. Not really sure. No, I do know that Cole Mooney obviously has set up his league, which was also very, very popular. So actually it turned out that one of the Amigos lads had to help him real quick by booting up the server for practice. Qualifying and race. No, not practice, I believe, but for qualifying a race we had to split it up because there was actually a lack of pit lanes at Laguna Seca. Less than 15 minutes on the clock now, so we're getting closer towards the end here. Which means that I can almost go to bed finally. Now, of course, you know, it's been a pleasure, but considering that work has started again and school has started again for the most of us, at least from the most people from the Netherlands, don't really know how it works for the UK. That's how it is over here. John Earl makes his way past Jubic. Now he is still in P12, which is still considerably better than the position he started in. Still up 15 positions, and that makes him the biggest winner of this race so far. Here we go now, both drivers getting in and out of the pits here, Curatola and Big B. So now we see where Tom Wegman ends up, and it looks like Curatola has managed to overcut him there. So it looks like he is now back in P3, so the Dutchman loses one position after the pit, so that really shows how big of an impact it can have. You need to choose the correct time to go for your pit stop. You don't want to end up in traffic, and obviously he has served a considerably longer stop as well than Curatola, because Curatola only had a 5-second pit stop, and Tom Wegman, despite being only half a second away, has served a 30+ second pit stop, so that means that he is quicker after all. However, he still needs to find his way past cleanly, which can be very, very tricky here. Joe Tomlin was considering a move down the inside, but there's simply no move. Dominic Gies seems to be holding on strong, at least for now, and I hope they can keep that up as well. I mean, see, in the end, I don't really care who wins. I'm neutral. I mean, I do obviously have my favorites, but I don't ever tell you. That's just how it is. But yeah, from a neutral perspective, this race has been really, really good here. Good racing action here, and especially as Adam Locke here loses the position to Wilson, but immediately can try to go down the inside there. And Britt Batiste here also wants a piece of the cake, and oh no, Adam Locke got spun around there. Britt Batiste touches with him. There we go, now facing the wrong way. Needs to find his way back onto the track. That is not good there. He's just able to keep the car going, so that's something. Once again, a little bit of a touche there towards the end of the race. Not what people were hoping for, obviously. 12 minutes left. We're getting closer towards the end there, so most drivers are doing a 120 laps. That should mean there's roughly 12 laps to go. But Tomlin still fighting, still chasing, but not getting any closer. And Adam Locke finds himself in P19 now. Now obviously he's gained 3 positions from the opener, but compared to the opener, but still definitely not the start that he wants. Ooh, it looks like René Rasenberger has thrown himself onto the grass there. It's never a good sign, is it? Joe Tomlin now also getting closer to Dominic Giesigan, and Jack Holden's also slowly catching up in the other Ferrari. Now they all are 296s here, so we've got similar cars to work with, so that's definitely not going to be the difference maker here. So it all comes down to the driver, and with 10 minutes left, Mickey has to just hold on to his position. The German driver knows that all he needs to do is just make sure that they can't really pass him. Now, he seems to have the pace to stay ahead. It looks like they're all doing similar pace at the moment, so in that sense I don't really expect anything. Tom Wegman here. Getting closer to the car ahead of him. That is this man, Baldo Curatolo. Mercedes is looking very, very scary now. He does make a small mistake, so the Dutchman has to cease his attacks at least temporarily. I think at some point he can give it another go here. Oliver Dewey in the McLaren, not the MP4. I've said it wrong twice already. I don't want to do it again. Look at this as well now. Rasenberg has made a mistake. So finally, Chris Tedder has something to fight for now. It is only 30th position. But you know, everything that you can get, you'll take. And Chris Tedder obviously knows that as well. So perhaps we'll see a little bit of a shake up towards the end there. Now behind him is still Giuseppe De Vico on the same amount of laps. After that, it is Common, who was 10 laps down compared to Giuseppe De Vico. Surprisingly little DNFs as well this time. Which is great to see. Richard Christie in the Porsche is still giving the go, however, pushing Oliver Dewey to the limit. Looks like he has the better exit now and can go side by side. He will have the inside line, so Finkish just done it. Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful move there from Richard Christie. Looks like he has now made his way up to P12. Perhaps he can start chasing John Earl as well, but he's a second away. So that might be too much to ask for here, unless he makes a mistake. Now, swapping over to Joe Tomlin, who's currently trying to get closer to Dominic Gies, who has escaped a little bit. Look at that. There we go. That's the move I thought, but no, Tom Wegman gave it a go. Overtook him, but then got switched back. So Baldo Curatolo stays ahead now, but he's so close. Tom Wegman is so close by. Now perhaps you could go down the inside here. He's trying everything he can. Did a bit of a touche and another big touch there as well. Goes onto the grass. Does he manage to recover? No, not quite. So finds himself facing the wrong way. Hold your brakes, my friend. Does so. There we go. Managed to get out as well. There he is. Managed to get by. Luckily. To find a safe way to rejoin here. That will push him down to 5th position. Tom Wegman definitely not too happy about that one. And that means that we are now going to see that those 7 minutes might still matter a lot there, because Dominic Gies is fighting in a group of 2 with Joe Tomlin and Jack Holden. Then behind him is Romano as well as John Earl fighting for position. And behind that we have Oliver Dewey, Ryan O'Sullivan and Gary Smith. Behind them is Britt Batiste, who's still getting chased by Wilson and Chico Lanefaar. Then we have Adam Locke and Dan Pickles also fighting for position. So suddenly all the groups have found each other again. Same for Matthew Gamble, Carter Taraccio right behind. And then towards the back we have Jim Kowalski as well as Craig Hewlett. And also Christeller trying to get past Rasenberger here, but they're doing similar lap times at the moment. Ooh, Szymon Kowalski, that was a close call. Manages to keep the car going. Looked like he was going to lose control over it. Great recovery from him so far. Let's go, Hunt. Well, I can tell you that much. He has had a brilliant drive so far. It's just not even been close, really. The only time that he got rid of his first position is when he had to pit, when he served his mandatory pit stop before some other drivers did. That was the only time he has lost that P1 basically, and it's been an absolute stunning drive from him. Simply leagues ahead of everybody else here. Now there is still lots to fight for, not for Hunt obviously. Cameron Hunt is simply too far gone. I mean, can't really do much better than first place, can you? But we do see here that this battle for 7th place is not over yet. It is still Dominic Gies leading, following Tomlin and Holden. The positions haven't really swapped around, so that makes me believe that Dominic Gies is doing well when it comes to defending. Joe Tomlin is very, very close, but despite being close, hasn't really found his way past. Now I think, and I say I think because obviously I've had to watch other things as well, but looking at the pit times here, Dominic Gies is on older tires, and that might just get more and more tricky towards the end there. He has served a way quicker pit stop than the rest. He's only been stopped for 5 seconds, and those behind him have been stopped for 35. So can those tires last towards the end here? Joe Tomlin and Jack Holden definitely are quick drivers at the moment. However, overtaking has been proven difficult. Speaking about overtaking, Carlo Torraccio was getting closer, but is now falling off as well. Matthew Gamble seems to be driving very, very well at the moment. Simply can't get any closer. Szymon Kowalski is still giving it a go as well, and Joe Tomlin has finally made his way past Dominic Gies. Now, Dominic Gies could choose to go down the inside again, regain that position, and I think he might have just done that. Yeah, absolutely. So he fights his way back onto P7. Finally, an opportunity was there for Joe Tomlin. He struck, he immediately took that. However, he doesn't quite have the pace to then defend that position again. So Joe Tomlin now finds himself back in P8. You can see he's considering it. You can see how he's swerving there, looking, do I have space somewhere? Well, at the moment he really doesn't. Now there are back markers, so that could potentially mean that Dominic Gies has to lift off a little bit more. Oh, Craig Hewlett there, standing still on the track. That is probably not the best place to park your car. Baldo Cortolo as well as Clive Bixby here, fighting for second place in the last few laps of the race. Clive Bixby is in the Ferrari 296 and the McLaren, which obviously has been nerfed by the BOP a little bit. Seems to be holding on at least. However, where can he make a move here? There's 3 minutes to go here, so roughly 3 laps, considering they'll cross the line roughly every 1 minute and 25 seconds. So if he wants to strike, he needs to do it quickly. Can't rely on anybody to make a mistake here. Now Dominic Gies is now behind Joe Tomlin again, and this time it looks like the move actually has been successful. Not a lot that can be done anymore for the driver behind. Looks like Dominic Gies is simply going to have to concede there, because no, he's just gained so much there. So maybe a little bit of a mistake from Dominic Gies. I haven't seen it, so I don't want to say anything as based on just nothing. And there we have Rexy as well in P18. It's been a tricky event so far, and definitely it has costed quite a few quick drivers. I mean, let me just put it like this, right? The quick and experienced drivers definitely have been struggling as well, which really shows that this could really go either side. Obviously, we are in split 1, and split 1 obviously is a very, very competitive this time around here. I don't think there's going to be a clear favor. Well, maybe We will see Cameron Hunt read it really well. Jack Holden's made a mistake as well, so no longer close to Dominic Gies. So that's going to be the end of that attack with 1.5 minutes on the clock. What happened to Colm? He was involved in a couple accidents, had to repair his car. Went off into the sand once as well, and decided that, well, maybe there was no point in continuing, but he's still going, which I very much respect here. Now he is 10 laps behind Giuseppe De Vico, which is his next following driver, so he's not catching up anytime soon anymore, but he's still going, and finishing is also very important. As Michael Schumacher once said, to finish first you have to finish. I don't think he's taken that advice. Maybe with the penalties, you never know. Maybe somebody will have 10 laps of penalties total. Now I doubt that's happening. Carlo Torrezio here. With 30 seconds off the clock, he could potentially go for a move later on here. Same can be said about John Earl here. Kind of close to Romano here. Looks like that was one of the Devicos almost getting into the way here. Chico Lanefar had a yellow mark to his name, but it looks like he's driving up to pace again. There's almost no time left here, but this man has won the race quite easily. I mean, 20 seconds is the gap now. Will he have time for one more lap here? One? Has he done it? Yep, he has just made it into the final lap now, which means he'll be the only driver to finish one lap ahead of everybody else. It's incredible, really, what this man has shown. Now, obviously, we'll see a lot of drivers here now entering their last lap of the race here. Everybody hold on strong here. No big incidents towards the last lap here, please. No big heartbreaks like we have seen before. I believe that was in the Supercharged Motorsport League. I might be wrong, but I believe it was that one. It might have also been the FRL special that I did. Doubt it though. But as far as I remember, it was mainly the Wait. Okay, no, it was mainly the yeah, it was the Laguna Seca event, I believe. Yeah, it has to. Yeah, it definitely was the Supercharged Motorsport. Okay, I just couldn't think straight for a second here. Now the man who has done it all basically has been leading the entire race. Started on pole position.
The leader has finished the race.
And definitely deserved that here. Now Craig Hewlett comes across the line in P29 as well. Adam Locke in 19 and then Pickles in P20 there. Now we see Bixby's also going to be making his way across. Baldo Cortolo waiting behind him. And then it is Samuel Braxton. 9 seconds difference. He will be crossing the line in P4. And then we see Wegman right behind in P5. Now Jason Pooley is still quite far away, but he should be good for P6 here. So also a very great result here for Jason Pooley. No big surprise, we all knew that he was quick. Now I have Joe Tomlin right behind. There we go, Pooley made his way across the line now. And Joe Tomlin finishes 6 seconds behind. There we go, good stuff we're seeing here. Now it's Dominic Gies across the line. Jack Holden's right behind, but he's not going to be able to pass there. Now we have John Earl as well as Christie right behind him. Now we see O'Sullivan has also finished. Now it's Wilson and Lanefar towards the end there. Looks like Britt Batiste stayed ahead of Wilson and Chico Lanefar was only 0.07 seconds behind him. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. It is this man. It is Cameron Hunt, who has won, absolutely dominating the rest. Then we have Bixby in P2 and Curatola in P3. Samuel Braxton following right behind. Then we had Wegman, Pooley, Tomlin, Gies, Jack Holden, Romano, Earl, Christie, Smith, O'Sullivan and Jewick to round out at 15. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's fair to say that it's been an absolute pleasure once again. apologize I wasn't screaming as much as I do normally. My parents are asleep, so it is what it is. But I want to thank you guys all for watching. It was a lot of fun, and I hope to see you guys in the next one, which will be next Monday here. I think you should be fine to check out the results of the second stream now as well. It's on the same channel, so please go do that. And ladies and gentlemen, I will see you next time round. It was an absolute pleasure. My name's Ricky DC. If you're interested in my services, hit me up in the Discord. You'll be seeing me there quite often, and then we can probably work something out. And for now, I think it's time to say good night to everybody, sleep well, and see you the next time.
We don't belong making ladders out of cowboy sheets. We will be gone while we're counting stars, they're counting sheep. Peter, all the rest don't make a sound. Just keep running and keep running and keep running. In our heads we're 10 feet off the ground. Just keep running and keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running. Between us and the lake, where you can still remember dreams. I swear I'll always love you. You know that place between us and the lake, where you can still remember dreams. I swear I'll always love you, and that's where I'll be That's where I'll be Feeling alone. Never thought I'd see this place again. I'm growing old in a different world. You stay the same. I just hold my breath, don't make a sound. I'm running, I keep running, I keep running. 'Cause I can see you quite as clearly